And now for a quick disclaimer. The T-Bone
and Chick Brew
in the morning show is for infotainment purposes only.
The opinions expressed here do not represent
Naval Station Rhoda, the Armed Forces Network,
or Department of Defense.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Actually, I feel like that song should be our anthem. You might not like me.
Yeah, if there's anything that's our anthem, it's definitely You Might Not. It's not, you know.
That's it. That's the way it goes.
I'm okay if you don't like me. I am really comfortable.
Oh,
okay,
goodness.
just,
Yeah, there
just
it
put
goes.
that up there.
Yeah.
I'm really comfortable enough in my own skin that you cannot like me and not hurt my feelings. I'm okay with that.
In fact, the less you like me, the less time I might have to
But
spend
how
with people.
much time do I spend in your head where you have to go out of your way to tell other people how much you don't like me or my comments? You know,
It's funny because now, most of the time, people are like, so how did you two meet? And I say, well, it's really funny because actually when I first met him, I didn't like him.
Yes, true story. And I didn't like you.
Yeah. And I was like, and then over time and getting to, know each other respectfully. And not just, we had to know each other professionally, but now I'm like, he's one of my best friends. I was like, so sometimes you don't like people. Think about all the people that you've liked.
That turned out you were wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah.
So
hey, give me a chance. You might just like me. You might just like me. Is that the song?
That's it.
Okay, that is a theme song.
I feel like if you, and maybe this is not the right direction to go. Maybe if we just don't like people going into it, those connections
are going to be your best friends.
Will be stronger because you're like, you worked through some stuff to get into this circle.
This is not a bad argument to have. I married someone who didn't like me.
So this is like a normal thing for you.
I grow on people. If you give me a
like
chance,
a
wart or cancer or
just a festering
something
wound.
else, yeah,
love it.
I am fully aware that my personality is an acquired taste. I got it. I'm loud.
Like a German cheese.
No, not a German cheese, please. I love cheese, but I hate German cheese. It's like they can get beer right, but when it comes to molding up some stuff that makes cheese, milk.
Molding milk? The alliteration was too much.
When it comes to molding milk, that's one of the things the Germans don't do well. They do meat well. Oh my goodness, do they do meat well?
Yes.
Nothing like a good schnitzel. So, yeah, I know I'm an acquired personality. I got it. And I really do try when I meet people not to just bombard them with me.
You're kind of like my beagle. Hello, I've arrived. I'm here. Look at me.
But there is no doubt that I do bombard people because it's not that I have this desire to be liked, but I want you to like me. I don't go out of my way finding new people and like, please be my friend. Please be my friend. I don't do that. But the moment we come into contact and I don't know anything bad about you, well, then why not? Why not have a good relationship? And I overdo it. I got it. Again, loud, no longer profane. I used to be loud and profane. Now I'm just loud, minus most of the profane. I still know the words, and I know how to use them, but it's very sparingly.
You've expanded your vocabulary into other...
I always had a vocabulary.
You do. You have a good one. We have a good time with that.
I always had a good vocabulary. It's just that I was in a culture where profane language was the norm.
And it was preferred over words that 90% of the people could not understand. We used to have someone who worked here with us, and they were like, you can't use that word in the commercial. And I was like, because you don't know what it means, huh? And they'd be like, you know who I'm talking about.
You have to.
No response.
I think you have to remember we don't have a camera on us. You can't just make faces.
Silence. But that was the thing, was silence, because they didn't want to admit.
Silence and faces. Good morning. In case you haven't figured it out, we're back. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. And we're here. This is the show. So give us a call in the studio, 727-1025, or via your cellular phone. That's 956-82-1025, or look us up on the Facebooks. It goes, so it's gotten to the point where we now have to start saying good afternoon to our Okinawa friends. because our audience is growing in Okinawa.
Is it?
Like one of our repeated fans of the week is spreading the good word of T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. And now his people are starting to listen in on the show thanks to the AFN app. I think they have an AFNpacific.net, whereas we have an AFNEurope.net. Yep. Both of them work. Both of them allow you to listen to channels throughout the world if you're in a geographical location where AFN is present. And if not, you know how to use the internet.
Maybe.
So, good afternoon, Okinawa Branch Hospital. No, I think it's an actual hospital. I don't know. I'm sure I'll get a click here in a second. And so
we're like the afternoon show of
we are becoming the afternoon show in Okinawa, while we are the morning show in Rota. That's 2 continents. That's a huge audience.
That is pretty good.
And we have the late night staff at DLA that listens in just to make sure I don't say anything inappropriate. We got the red phone for that one. They call like once a year.
Just, to keep us on our toes.
I don't mind having an over. Could you imagine if I was allowed to? I can't think about this for a second.
No.
I process material that I want to use, whether it's on the radio or whether it's on video or whatever I'm doing. I'm always processing material in my brain about what I can and what I can't talk about. And I got some good stuff that I'm going to use in the future, assuming I outlive the people that are involved in these stories. I have to wait for people to die to actually talk about. I mean, I have talked about a lot of things in the past, and some of those people were still alive, but there are incidences in my life where just changing the name is not enough, because that person knows what I'm talking about, knows it's them, especially when I, call them out. So
when I use their first, middle, last, and last 4, then they seem to know
who they are. Their date of birth. Joey. It's so funny to me. And as I get older, unfortunately, more and more of those people are dying. So my act is getting stronger and larger with more material. Just fun times.
No, it's not.
So the 2 buffest comedians that I know of.
Okay.
One of them, everyone knows, is Carrot Top. So
yeah, he's he's
been doing a show in Vegas for 20 years. He is truly a funny guy. He really is. There's a lot of people who hate on prop comics, but I'm telling you, he puts a lot of work into those props. That was the first comedian I ever paid like a lot of money to see. It was like $50 back in the 90s to go see him.
I feel like that's now just getting into the comedy club.
No, comedy clubs in the States are still reasonable. They're still reasonable, $8, $10, basic admission to a movie to get in.
Way more than that.
But the theater shows like Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura, Joe Rogan, these guys' tickets are $100 a pop. And there are people who will pay that, definitely, whereas I will just wait for them to put it on YouTube, because their YouTube shows are hilarious. Kind of like we're not. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. If you haven't checked us out on the fan page yet, do the search for the hashtag Lunsby. That's LUNSB. Because people are interested in your life, okay?
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to know what I'm doing in tiny little Rota in southern Spain.
But what have you been doing?
Oh, no. You're not going to trick me with the Jedi mind trick, even though Darth Vader is right behind you.
Have you what?
What have you been doing? Where have you been? We have missed you.
Well, last week I was doing the Thanksgiving thing with the family up in Manchester. Did you know that Brits don't celebrate Thanksgiving? Surprise there.
They don't celebrate the 4th either.
Yeah. Well, but it was fun. It was really cold, like icy roads type of cold. I don't really understand that. Which is even more terrifying when the car starts to slide on a turn when you're driving on the wrong side of the road.
Were you driving?
No. God, no.
So you're a passenger
but in a taxi,
what would normally be the driver's seat.
Yeah, and then it goes, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Yeah, don't like that.
Was it a typical, Manchester, those cabs are like Priuses, right?
Yeah.
They're not the black cabs of London.
No. Just a normal, fuel efficient.
Quiet.
super quiet until you're sliding.
I went to the dentist yesterday in a cab, and from the dentist in a cab.
Well,
you know
have
why?
To, 'cause you have to be medicated.
Yeah.
Yesterday, though, one of my dogs had to have surgery.
Oh.
She's fine.
Okay.
But I slept on the couch with her last night.
Of course.
So I need to sleep. I need a nap.
I took a nap in the chair. I took a nap in the waiting room. I took a nap in the dentist chair, and like you were sleeping, I was like, yes, they give me drugs to make me feel better. Hey, I mean,
I panic.
I have issues. And by the way, it is U.S. Naval Hospital, Okinawa. It's not a branch clinic, so thanks for clearing that up, Okinawa. Again, trying to be the fan of the week. Chief Stanley out there pushing the message that is T-Bone and Chick Brew. He's had a lot of competition over the years, but apparently a football team beat another football team, and he would really like us to play a song for Dave, who used to be our number one fan all the time, but he's been slipping ever since retirement.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, he's got better things to do.
I have a feeling like I know what my retirement would look like.
And today being a Spanish holiday, there's even less people listening than normal.
Yeah, but you know what's weird is when I was driving into base today, it felt significantly busier than normal. There was like a lot of cars zapping around.
Maybe on the Puerto side, but on the Rota side, it was.
Yeah, there was a lot more cars than I am used to, for sure.
Tomorrow morning is when you need to be especially careful, because that's when there'll be a whole bunch of people out.
Yes.
At an unexpected time.
Also walking in crosswalks without looking.
Or not walking in crosswalks.
Just blindly stepping off curbs.
Yay, jaywalking, yay! And they will not be wearing reflective gear.
Also, always cracks me up, because I did not learn how to drive a standard till I got here. And I think that Europeans don't realize that Americans are just learning to drive standards when they arrive here at the age of 18 and up. They're putting a lot of faith in our... so my coworker taught me how to drive this in the next parking lot. Putting a lot of faith in our clutching skill. I
would prefer for young people. For young people that come to Rota that have never driven a stick before, I would prefer we put the big old L on top of their cars.
I need one.
Yeah,
it's been 5 years. I still need one.
L is for learning, and they're usually on the auto school cars, but the big L in the back of the window lets people know, oh, okay, this car might stall in front of you because somebody doesn't know the proper mixture of fuel and the proper release of the clutch.
Oh, is that what that does?
Yes, but if you have an automatic vehicle, it's not a clutch. And we'll talk about somebody reporting by comments on the Facebooks.
What is it?
When we get back, it's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it.
Don't do it. Don't. No.
It's coming. Yes. You time it right. In the final Santa Run video that will be released tonight, in the 12-day countdown up to the Santa Run, the final Santa Run video being released tonight, I sing accompanied by music at the very beginning.
Oh.
Yes, in Spanish.
What time will you be releasing?
Should I have a release party?
You need to put a countdown on your page so that we can go ahead and track this.
I have released one every day for the 12 days leading up to the run. And the great thing about doing that on a regular basis is I get better and better at doing it. And I think I finished strong. But I do open by singing in Spanish with musical accompaniment, and it kind of reminded me of that song. So
no.
Just figured I'd share. Hey, do you know there's going to be a strike in France? I'm sorry. Do you know they're already striking in France?
No, I don't, because I live in my bubble here.
If you have any plans this weekend, or unfortunately, as one of our guests flew in through Air France. And like Iberia, it's mandatory they lose at least one piece of your luggage.
Yes.
And they did. And they said they'd get it to them. And then they went on strike. And this is the first stop in many stops. So unfortunately, I don't think he's ever going to see that bag. it's going to be auctioned off in Arkansas or so. You know,
It will be.
the
Yes.
big Arkansas buy other people's underwear auction they do.
I love those. I love when they broadcast them. I love watching them because I'm like, you paid money for that. And sometimes I'm like, you only paid that much money for that?
So I'm not going to say the TV show because goodness knows I don't want to get in any more trouble. But there's a TV show out there where people buy things through an auction with the chance that there may be something there or there isn't. And I have two friends of mine who were on this show, and I can tell you this show is 100% fake. Absolutely fake. It's entertaining. It's entertaining to watch.
Oh, yeah. We went to one of the, not even related to the show, because that show like really stirred up people now
you
going
get
to
a bunch
them.
of people doing it.
And so they're putting
I'm
them
going
up.
to get rich.
Especially, yes, that sounds
Buying other people's stuff.
Sounds, yes, just like people where I'm from. Thank you for making it feel like home in here. And so my mom and I were like, all right, let's go look.
Let's
so we
do
went,
it.
and we just went just to observe.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
I got myself a mattress from these
Accurate.
chairs.
These chairs are
were
from
probably
there.
found in one of those auctions.
And they should go. They should.
I love it.
They look like Friday night mistakes.
Yeah, so the strike in France is very similar to what happened in Greece a few years ago, and it's all about math. People who don't understand math think that everything is free, and when they find out things are not free, they get really upset about that. And not to turn this into a huge political conversation, it's just a brief math conversation. If the amount of money that you're spending doesn't equal the amount that you're taking in, and you're a private citizen, you go to jail. But if you're a government, you can levy that debt for a period of time until it becomes unsustainable. Yeah, we're talking big words today. And then you have to make some tough choices.
You have to do something.
Right. So right now in France, what they're saying is we can no longer afford to pay all of these pensions that we've been paying. But we could continue paying them for a little bit longer if we give you less. And their response is, burn it down. Burn it all down.
That seems fair. Seems fair. That's my response to just about everything.
So look
Set
us
it on fire.
yes. Look us up on our fan page. That's where most of the communication occurs. It's the T-Bone and Chick Brew Cavalcade. But if you don't know how to spell that, you can find it just by searching the hashtag LUNSB. LUNSB. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. You don't understand what it used to be like. Well, it used to be, I saw people at the 18-year mark say, I'm done. Break chalks, done. I knew 19-year first classes, break chalks, you don't know what it means.
I know what it means.
19-year first classes who went UA and never came back. It was a different time. If you made it to retirement, you were doing something. But now, if you don't make it to retirement, what's wrong with you?
Oh, I didn't make it to retirement because the Navy wasn't ready.
They weren't ready for you.
No.
But you're still doing your part in the reserves, which
opinions.
means when you're 95, you could retire.
Yeah, 95, perfect.
I think that's
perfect.
the current answer.
Yes, correct. Yes. I have too many thoughts and opinions.
Sometimes our conversations bleed over. Who sings that song you just played?
Led Zeppelin, man.
Oh, that's a good. That's a foot bumping. I didn't even realize I like Led Zeppelin. That's a good one. Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite analogy? What's the one that just really stands out? Like one you've tried to deconstruct. Have you ever tried?
No.
I think about. Well, you know me. I think about things.
Why didn't you prep me with this before?
So think about this for a second. Someone once came up with the analogy, the straw that broke the camel's back. No, that's not an analogy. That's a metaphor.
It's
a metaphor. Someone once came up with that. Someone thought about camels and them carrying straw, and then the one extra thing that broke the camel's back. As I think about that, I think out of all the things you could have chose, why a camel? Why straw? Well, straw, it makes sense. I don't know. I dwell on things like that because I think it's genius, but it's overlooked genius. Someone actually came up with that metaphor. It wasn't, it wasn't passed down from the ages by
You don't know.
the gods.
You don't know.
I do know.
You don't know. Here's what I know. I don't do that because I don't care. But this got me the other day. Do you wash your hands or do they actually wash themselves and we just stand there and watch?
Okay, my day's done. My day's done. I will spend the rest of the day washing my hands. You've just given me a new mental disorder where I'm going to be, what are you doing? I'm not doing anything. I'm just watching.
See? You're going to be the cleanest person on the space.
Once upon a time, there was a person, what is the obsessive compulsive disorder? Mm-hmm. He had it real bad. And it was about the washing of the hands and cleanliness. And he would wash his hands like 100 times a day. And it was driving him nuts. And one day he decided that he was going to no longer exist. And the treatment that he chose for no longer existing actually gave him homemade lobotomy. And he survived, and it fixed his problem.
Huh.
Yeah. The human body is always one straw away from breaking, but it is remarkably resilient.
What about the people who get into a car accident and have severe brain trauma and then can play the piano?
But never played the piano before?
Never played the piano before.
Yeah, that seems logical. I've tried that. I've hit myself in the head with a hammer and then tried to do things I couldn't do. It didn't work.
Still didn't work out for you.
No, I mean, it had some effects, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they are.
I have some ideas of what they were. No, I don't really break down analogies or metaphors, but I do question things like what if phones, what if we decided not to put all technology into phone? What if we put all the technology into a Discman? And what if that was how we took pictures and called people? But, or why do we call them pants? Because it's just one, but they're a pair of pants, but wouldn't it be a pair of legs? We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
I do, but only if you promise to grace the audience with your melodious voice.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You know. A lot of these people don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know.
So
I know.
I don't care.
Huh?
Weather. Oh,
there it is.
It's your weather.
There it is, the
update.
weather.
Oh my gosh.
So it feels like 30 degrees outside today, and that's only because we are acclimatized. Is it right now 48?
48 degrees right now.
You know the strangest thing? So it was 52 when I came in. It's 48 now. But when the sun starts coming up in a little bit, it's going to be colder than 48. It's going to be
colder. Yeah, it's going to drop down, and then it will slowly bring itself up to a whopping 68?
68's not bad, as long as the wind isn't there. That wind will cut you.
That wind is not your friend.
And again, I feel bad saying that, knowing there are people in the States right now under 5 feet of snow.
Well, that's the choice they made.
Yeah. And
because you know what?
We're so acclimatized to this weather. Ooh, it's chilly at 68.
Yes, I'm going back to Minnesota or something. I'm like, why? and then I feel like I'm being rude because, I'm sure Minnesota has lots of lovely things, but it's so cold. And then I see them post, they're like, oh my God, this is miserable. Blah, blah. I'm like, you were gone. And you could, we are nomadic people, yes.
As a future presidential candidate, I think I need to come up with some crazy platform that topples your crazy platform. And mine is give everybody enough money to be snowbirds. Let's just abandon the north in the wintertime and all move south. And then when it gets hot, we all move north. Let's become a nomadic people.
I actually support that.
We'll just
fully support that.
We'll erase the 48 states, the 48 continuous states, and then we'll make the North State be summer and the South State be winter.
But you know what will happen?
And
There'll
then
be
Hawaii and Alaska will be like the super winters and the super
Some people will decide that they don't want to participate, and then they'll create tribes.
No, then we create the purge.
That's a good recommendation for how I'm going to spend my afternoon. I love those movies.
The Purge movies?
Yes.
I don't.
I
think they're so stupid.
Way. I love them. I don't know why. Have you started watching Die Hard? Because it is the season for Die Hard.
I was in a Die Hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Die Hard with a Vengeance. That was 100% of that movie.
Where are you in that movie?
I'm in a different place here and there. 100%. The great thing about
Guess what I'm doing this afternoon, Rhoda?
I'm in the Nakamura Tower. Now,
we just watched that.
The 100% of that movie was filmed in Charleston, South Carolina. And in Charleston and the surrounding area. And I am a native New Yorker, but I was living in Charleston and I was part of making this movie. So when the movie is released and I'm watching it, I'm like, I know this was done in Charleston. How does that look like New York? They did such an amazing job. And again, this is quite a few years ago, so CGI isn't what it is today. I should have fun with CGI. I got a green screen. I need to learn to do more stuff. Well, I flipped myself the other day.
You have my attention. I'm like clicking around on the computer and then,
I flipped myself the other day on the screen, and I was very, very, I not only flipped myself, but I changed my size and position. And I was like, look at me go.
Did you put your thing down, flip it, and reverse it?
I smacked down, flipped it in. Now I want to go old school. I smacked it up, flipped it, and rubbed it down. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Do we got any of that in the music catalog?
No, but
we just made it relevant.
We did. We did. I'll look.
So we're going to play a little bit of music, and then it's going to be time for the news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's called the top of the hour. So we're going to be looking for some old town music. Remember, if you hit us up on the fan page with your suggestions on things people might like to hear, we might be able to take on board your suggestions. We're into listening to the audience. It's Lunsby. That's hashtag Lunsby. It's the T-Bone and Chick Brew fan page. Look us up on the Facebooks.
Yep, I was like, it's still happening. This is another one with a long...
I know that. Oh, that's Run DMC.
Yeah.
No. That's LL Cool J.
Oh.
What is that? What you need to do is play the end of that again, and we put our Google phones up there just to get that track, because that is old school rap. What she slipped in on the end there.
Have you heard her new album, Missy Elliott?
The manager is a Missy Elliott fan. Me, not so much. Not so much. I mean, I'll listen. She makes music. It's not bad music. It's definitely better than most of the stuff coming out today.
It was like a nod to herself, which I totally loved.
What was the Miscommunication, or what was her big album?
I don't remember.
I think it was Miscommunication.
It's all now just downloaded into my phone and on shuffle, so I don't actually.
Really?
Yeah, just I go through and I'll pick out all the songs I want, and then after that, now there's no need to know what an album, what album is that album? I don't know.
Do you find music in your phone that you don't know how it got there?
Sometimes.
I think you have friends, right? You leave your phone unattended, things happen. And I don't know what sadistic, insert word here, person, somebody downloaded a bunch of Taylor Swift onto my phone. So I don't realize it because I don't go through my music library, but I'm driving along, I'm having a good time, and I go from something I really enjoy, and then it pops up on the screen, Taylor Swift, Diamonds Are Forever, or I don't know what it is. And I'm like, I don't listen to Taylor Swift. And it happens a lot. I get weird music. It just shows up on my phone. Maybe Taylor Swift did it. I don't know.
But you gotta blame someone.
So it's such a great conversation I recently had about the phone itself. If you take everything that this phone can do, it's only perfected one thing. The only thing the telephone that we now carry around with us has done is not perfected our communication.
No,
it's not perfected our base of knowledge
made it worse.
Or anything. All it has done is create a device to kill time.
Oh, it is a time suck.
It kills time. So, okay. Let me be careful on how I word this. I have a routine when I go to the lavatory, right? Mm-hmm. I use lavatory there to class it up a bit.
Skip to the loo.
I had, and it was very simple. I would read books. I have a small library in there, and I would just, a couple of books a day. I'd be reading through different books, and I would do Sudokus. I would exercise my brain, and I would learn stuff. And I loved doing that. That was what I had done.
My great-grandma called it her reading room.
Yeah, and it was notoriously known as the reading room until they invented the time-killing machine that I carry around with me. And then I'm just flipping through other people's lives. and I'm reading stories that may or may not be true, have no basis
Probably
in fact.
not real.
Right? Probably not real. Or
It's a book. It's all fiction.
Or I'm popping some bubbles, or I'm playing some slot machine. I'm doing nothing but killing time, and time is not meant to be killed.
Should be savored.
It should be savored. Life should be lived. It should be learned. But if we're and I was going to the dentist yesterday, and I knew I was going to be in the dentist chair, and in the waiting room, so I knew I was going to need to kill time. And I'm moving away from killing time. I'm savoring time. So that thing, that drug that I carry around in my pocket, that I take with me everywhere I go, is going to get less and less use. I am making a conscious decision.
Are we holding you to it? Are we your accountability buddies?
Why not? Let's be. If you want to be an accountability buddy for the T-Bone and Chick Brew Show, give us a call, look us up on the Facebooks, or send smoke signals. All of that works.
I'm playing a Christmas song.
Oh, no! Oh, come on, man. That takes you back right there.
It does. Right back to middle school.
So, Leroy Jenkins, not the Leroy Jenkins on the radio show, but basically somebody I just nicknamed Leroy Jenkins. Chief Williams there. He's listening in, and he wants us to play some Cool Mo D Christmas music.
No.
Yeah, we have a strict limit of only one Christmas song per show. Unfortunately, you did not get your suggestion into the fan page in time. What is the Christmas music situation in your household? Oh, and by the way, we have a guest.
Mine is Hanson Christmas.
Hanson Christmas.
Hanson.
That's
Don't judge you.
That's capitalizing on a one-hit wonder right there.
They're still on tour.
They're still making music.
And they also have a beer. They have their own beer. It's like a thing. But
there's
the Hanson,
no way I would drink a Hanson beer.
It's called Hops, and I kid you not.
I would drink Hops.
I would
definitely drink that.
What are you talking about? We're obviously going on a field trip. I don't know where to get this, but it's happening.
How about you? What is your family music tradition?
So it's not my tradition.
Oh.
I want to put that out there. But Conway Twitty's Christmas album.
Conway Twitty.
So,
you just gave me a hard time about Hanson
I cook breakfast
Christmas.
whenever it comes on. I'm like, I'm going to go cook breakfast. I'll be in the kitchen.
You just judged my Hanson.
You
then followed it up
It's
with
not
Conway.
mine. It's not mine.
Allegedly not yours. The defensiveness makes me think that there might be an underlying level of love.
I literally cringe all Christmas season.
There are Christmas songs I do not like, and anybody that tried to make an original Christmas song usually failed.
Christmas in Hollis.
Christmas in Hollis, yes.
That's what we just played. It's a classic.
It's a classic. No, I said usually failed, not all the time. Nat King Cole. He had original Christmas music, and it is classic. It survives the test of time. If you put that thing on repeat, that'll take you all the way to the new year.
What about
really beautiful
Stevie Nicks' Silent Night?
Okay,
or Ode of the Goats.
That's hilarious.
I love Fleetwood Mac, love Stevie Nicks, but that cover of Silent Night, we just call it Ode to the Goats.
Ode to the Goats.
Do you remember Jim Breuer's Goat
Brewer,
Boy?
Yeah. That's very good. I liked your impression of Stevie Nicks there. That's very funny.
I do a good
The
Stevie
worst
Nicks.
Christmas song ever, Your Turn, Go.
That whole CD.
No, there has to be a song on the CD that you hate more than anything.
I can't tell you an exact song because I literally leave the room whenever.
How about you?
Okay, so I worked at KB Toy Store and Toys R Us all through college and high school, and there is not one because the whole genre itself started in
there has to be one.
Okay, I'm not a fan of I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Really?
It's not my favorite.
Okay.
I do love when Grandma gets run over by a reindeer.
Do you like the Mariah Carey song, the one that...
I don't have a problem with it. You know what? First of all, yeah. Mariah's got a beautiful voice. She made this song when she was in her prime, and she wasn't crazy. If she remade that song now, the lyrics would be different, and it would be hilarious. But just God bless her. She made a great song. I don't knock it. I can only listen to it so many times. The worst Christmas song I have ever heard is with the most beautiful voice of our generation.
Mine.
Andrea Bocelli. That Andrea Bocelli Christmas CD, the manager got for me, and I'm loving it. The man is incredible. Oh, the tone, perfect. Pitch, perfect. I'm listening to it, and then He's singing with the Muppets. I can't listen to the CD because at any moment a Muppet might show up. What is your most hated Christmas song? We're digging into the Christmas season and we're curious. Hit us up on the fan page by searching #LunsB or call us in the studio 727-1025 or 956-82-1025. It's T-Bone and Chick Brew in the morning. Oh, Will there throws out this one that we didn't even think about. I didn't even think of this. Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
It is.
It is. What?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's a
Christmas movie.
No, I don't like it. No.
It's a Christmas movie, though.
Yeah, but it's not a good one.
Oh, it is a good one.
No.
I love it.
The Halloween version that they did was good, but then he went too far. Mike Burton always goes too far. Mike Burton's not realistic.
Who are you talking about? Tim
Burton. Mike Burton's a friend of mine. He's a comedian in New York City. He's a very funny guy. You should look him up.
Don't
Sorry,
you do
Mike.
that to poor Mike.
He does not make
Just
good Christmas
mad
movies.
Maybe he
trash.
does make still figure movies. I don't know what he does in his spare time.
Everyone needs a hobby. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
So we had a great show today. Are you enjoying the extra 30 minutes?
I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
We don't get a lot of participation in the first 30 minutes, except for our new official intern position that we have announced. Congratulations, Mike Stanley. After a long, tedious process of interviewing, you are now the official Okinawa Det intern for the T-Bone and Chick Brew in the Morning Show.
Oh, I like that. Good job.
We have positions available in Naples. I was so mad at myself yesterday. When I forget little things, I think it's a tumor. You know, it's
Obviously.
obviously a tumor.
It's nothing or it's everything.
And I couldn't remember Tabrin's husband's name yesterday.
The mustache.
I
Period.
couldn't remember his real name.
Attention to
and
the mustache.
That messed me up, man. Because I've known him
Mike?
3 years. Yeah. It was the last name I was stuck on.
McNichol?
Shush. Yes, I know.
He's been gone for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I got it. Why do you think I thought I had a tumor?
I'm telling. Ooh, I'm telling.
It is time to dig into the ACC. That's right, your Austin Community College special. Actually, it's all
That's
about
my alma mater. They sent me an email asking me for money to help donate to the. They're like, oh, we have.
Well, you're an official alma mater,
right? Which is funny because I didn't finish anything there.
No.
I started a lot of things, but I didn't finish anything.
You're just considered a donor. Are we going to get to the ACC?
I mean, maybe. Not getting to it is the reason I didn't finish it.
The ACC is what we talk about once a week, every week. It's part of your weekend safety brief. Remember, if you send us a muster report that you listened, we'll sign it, and you can file that away as a thing that you did before the weekend. The ACC is your accident, crime, and court-martial prevention. When it comes to accident prevention, the easiest thing you could do is maintain your facilities at all time. Be aware of your surroundings, especially when driving. Driving is the most dangerous thing that you do every single day. Put the phone down. Put the drink away. Anything that distracts you from the object, the mission of getting from where you are to where you need to be without killing yourself or somebody is accident prevention at its finest. But just in case accidents happen, please remember to wear your seatbelt. When it comes to crime prevention, you got any suggestions over there? I took like a good 2 minutes on that one. You got anything?
I really like dogs.
Dogs are good. So, quick story. We're babysitting Rosa right now.
She's so beautiful.
So that means in my house, I have 180 pounds of Rhodesian Ridgeback. 8 legs, 2 heads. I got a lot of Ridgeback. Well, the other day, somebody walked by that they were not happy with. And they're going to let you know if they're not happy. So they leap off the stairs, run up against the steel reinforced concrete doors, and hit it so hard that it opens.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So luckily, they're trained to defend what is theirs and not to attack, because if they were trained to attack, that could have been really bad. Look, here's what we're going to give you for crime prevention. If you have a big dog, make sure they're trained well. And criminals, if you hear a big dog, remember, your luck runs out when you cross an imaginary line that you can't see. Because if you'd have been brave enough to come in, they'd have been brave enough to make sure you never do that again.
They would have eaten you.
So there's your crime prevention. And there goes some beeps. Dog handlers, of course. What about your court-martial prevention? And this one gets shotgun to you. How do you prevent going to a court-martial?
Don't drink and drive.
That could be a captain's mast. That could be a
court-martial.
Listen to the show. How do you prevent going to a court-martial? Keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Don't give me no line.
That's a smart rule.
I mean, that's a good rule. If you keep your hands to yourself, whether in anger, what was I talking about yesterday? I know. When someone pulls rank on you, when someone literally uses the rank card to win an argument,
especially because they're gonna start this conversation by like saying, "No rank here. We're just real talking." You're lying to me right now.
I correlate someone pulling rank on you being the equivalent to just slapping someone in the face.
That's very fair.
I can no longer have this argument with you. There we go. Now it's all done. Now you will listen to my opinion. No, the rule for avoiding court-martial is keep your hands to yourself, whether if in an aggressive tone or whether in a sexual tone or whether in a questionable tone. Don't touch anybody without their explicit, written, documented permission. Period. And that'll keep you out of the court-martial situation. And normally we
also, people are gross. You don't know where they've been. Don't touch them.
Kidding.
They're covered in germs.
If they are covered in germs, don't get me started on the germs. So we are trained not to touch people. And when that training starts to disappear, it's usually because alcohol has been infused into the situation. A little less inhibitors and a little more freely on the touching. I still cannot forget the fact that one day I go to counsel somebody sitting in that chair right there, I go to console somebody sitting in that chair right there. That person is of the same sex as me, and I automatically requested his permission to touch him before I touched him, just to put my hand on his shoulder and console him.
Yes.
That's what 30 years in this organization will do to you. You get trained to ask for permission. And I promise you, if you're doing that in your life, well, there's one charge you can't go to a court-martial for. There's still a whole bunch of other reasons.
If you have to ask someone, if you have to let someone who is choking know that you're going to touch them,
that is correct. You do.
Right.
First step in saving a choking victim is to ask them for their permission to help them.
Right. And to be fair, that's not something I'd ever do because I don't actually know how to do that. So if you're ever choking...
You ever done CPR on another person?
No.
Ever put your lips on another man's face and tried to save his life?
That was really good.
I actually have, yeah.
But no, I haven't.
I have regrets, okay? I got a lot of regrets out there.
Because I don't know how to do it.
I'm trained, but I hope I don't have to do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They tried to give me an award for it. The kid that I did CPR on made it to the ambulance, but then he died en route to the hospital. And they tried to give me an award, and I told my boss at the time, I was like, but he died on the way to the hospital. And my boss's response was perfect. He was alive when you put him in the ambulance, wasn't he?
I don't know what happened, but we have to go.
Can't push the button until we say our outs. We have to say our outs.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's the holiday season. If you're not going to the Road to Santa Run, well, I sure am going to miss you. But tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, the Road to Santa Run in Rhoda. If you don't know anything about it, search it on Facebook. All kinds of information out there. And some really, really good videos have been made to get you to come to the Road to Santa Run. 12 of them, or 11 of them have been released. The 12th one will be released today. Please come out. It's a great time. It's a wonderful experience. And it has been told it's the last one. So please come out. Looking forward to that. I end this show as I always end the show, and with the constant reminder: be the best person that you can be, and if you were a great person yesterday, be an even better person tomorrow.
And don't forget that you are loved. Anything?
That's perfect. Yes.
How would you add to ours?